Okay, so now we come to the open mic section of DeBarra's spoken word. And the very first name I have on the list is Michael Freeman. So Michael, if you want to unmute. Michael. No, just looking at the list here now, I'm hoping that I'll be able to find where people start. Yes, Bryan. Generalissimo Bryan Franco. Bryan, can you hear me? You wanted to read first. So I'll go on to Ruth. Ruth, please. Third time lucky. Thank you.
I followed Lauren's advice around this, and I did the 5-thing challenge. It's like, oh, so I just call this You. So it's, you rocked my world in seduction and songs. You asked me out. I watched you all night long. You grabbed my waist and I drew myself in. You rang and I was spiraled in a spin, and now we don't speak. And text or talk, you left. But I was going back to cancel. So I said this thing in loads ago, and I was going back with this narrative thing that Lauren was talking about, and I really like this. So I'm just going to read this, and then I'll get out of your hair and I'll stop speaking. So this is called cancel. So rummaging in the drawer, she delved, disturbing dust deposits of desk. Excuse me. So rummaging in the drawer, she delved, disturbing dust deposits of decades, hidden in plain sight, wastelands untouched, anniversary cards, family laminated for posterity, images of the dead in their prime, keys with no homes to go home to, stamps bought with pence, coins not collectible, a roll of film, the final photographic evidence of a father's existence kept unexposed, footage of a man frail and dying in footsteps, layers of a body decaying, found as crepe paper skin draped on a skeleton hanger, not like the pictures framed, fading, presented for public view, blurred memories, now in clear resolution, conscience decision, drawers shut, dust, rest again.
Thank you, Ruth. I love your the flash fiction done in a flash. Great. And if anyone else wants to read out theirs, don't hesitate.
I like the flash fiction too. I love Lauren for her just, yeah, she's brilliant.
I know. Michael Freeman, are you can you come on now? Perfect.
Why were you trying to reach me before?
Go ahead.
Oh, I don't have my flash fiction. I was just going to read a piece of mine.
Great.
Another something else. Should I do that, or I
can do, please? Yes, Michael, go ahead.
Oh, all right. Thanks. Okay. All right. So this is a piece I'm working on. That it's a part of a performance piece, a choreo poem. It's a style of poetry and put into theater that was coined in 1976 for colored girls that considered suicide. It started there, and so I just want to say quickly, I got the New York City Artist Corps grant, and I performed it and got part of it published unknowingly. And so I'm just going to read like by City College. So there's like, I'm going to read outside of that, just the poetry part, because there's also letters and it's a long piece. I had a dream that night. I saw you in the waves. I prayed for them to release you, but my prayer hands didn't work and my arms opened instead, and I started to fly. But that's a girl butterfly, the little kid said, and I'll get it. He lunged for me. I could not speak back, and he ran to grab me. Then I cringed. I thought I could be caught, and then what? I would be crushed. I could hear their adult thoughts. This butterfly is a woman. Women prefer to be beautiful, and men prefer to be static. Butterflies cannot walk and salute. If they do, they will be brought down. One child's thoughts interrupted the rest, and he said, you will be brought to earth where you will be conditioned to follow as soldiers to the military cause. I am now gone to any feeling as I try to cope with this stasis. Warrior bulges in discreet discernment. Mine is the body that creates future calamities that I've now avoided. Strong men raise their arms. Some shake their fists. Others carry guns. Soldiers have thin arms that wobble, but their aim is exact. They know what they hate. Men with a feminine pallor. Men with a gentle smile. Captivating in the most extreme sense. As I'm watching this scenario, soldiers raise their guns from the ground floor and shoot up at me. My wings come apart and I fall faster than expected. They're breaking apart as I continue to suppress a dry cough. I think, why do I care about coughing anymore? As I fall as one butterfly through a broken mass of migrating butterflies who catch me and carry me forward. Duration eternal, and knowing that is escape of being where innate wisdom grows. Butterflying, buckling through blinding wind, the future voices that I hear are the sounds of suffering. I'm hearing the knocks, the restless knocks of the ordained. They recaptured their efforts. They will never cease. They are captivated by echoes. They do not realize that I am here and that I am listening to every single one. That's that.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you very much. Next we have Generalissimo Bryan Franco, and Brian's background is the cover of his latest book of poetry,
which has actually now been printed up, and I'll put the information in the chat how you can buy it from me.
Oh, great! Thank you, Brian. Great.
How much time do I have, Margaret?
I'd say about 5 minutes, maybe. Would that be okay?
Good. That would be perfect.
I'm not going to time you. I wouldn't dream of timing you. I love your poems.
Well, thank you, Margaret. That's so sweet of you. So the first poem is the poem I just wrote for the exercise. I hope it's up to Lauren's standards. It's called What We Don't Know the Cows Know About Us. I had slept so erratically, I pulled the bottom right-hand corner of the contour sheet from the bed. It was cold. It was a cold enough morning for me to spend an extra 2 or 3 minutes soaking in the hot of the shower. I dried off, dressed, took my morning pills, ate a banana, and grabbed a nice cup of hot tea. I drove to the Saturday farmer's market. No one was there because it was Monday. There were 3 cows in the field across the road. They weren't looking at me, but I knew they were looking at me when I wasn't looking at them, aware of the mistake I had made, telling one another, look, another human who forgot what day it was. And then I'm going to just read some very newer poems. This first piece is called Happy Hanukkah. My parents were married on Christmas Day, 1960. December 25th was not an uncommon day for Jewish weddings back then. They honeymooned in Haiti and brought back an intricately hand-carved menorah. Its holes were so wide, the menorah took fat Sabbath candles rather than skinny Hanukkah candles. Mom would line the holes with foil before putting in the candles. She also started freezing the candles before lighting to prevent messy dripping. She collected menorahs, but always returned to the honeymoon menorah, which she retired after Dad died. The next piece is a totally true story. It's called The Eagle Next Door. I grew up in a brick split-level house on a cul-de-sac with a male magnolia tree in the front yard. When I was 15, while sweeping leaves off the garage roof, I slipped and fell onto a pricker bush. I was a bit scratched and bruised, but uninjured otherwise. Just another day on Fernhill Court. One day, my mutt, Ruff, came home with a huge cow bone in her mouth. It so happened other neighborhood canines brought back tasty bovine bones to their homes. It turned out that farmers on the edge of town had slaughtered several sick cows and dumped the bodies in a clearing called the clay pits behind the big drainage ditch, which was accessible from a dirt road. Just another day on Fernhill Court. My next door neighbor, Mrs. Ann Duke, AKA Eagle Eye, had a British bulldog named Betty Boop that came from a long line of AKC champions. One day, a Labrador wandered in the backyard and impregnated Betty Boop. Of course, Eagle Eye had to get Betty an abortion so her future puppies could have AKC papers. Just another day on Fernhill Court. Male magnolia trees do not produce flowers. And finally, this is called, I think this is the last one, A Tale of Two Thanksgiving Suppers. My brother Paul in Atlanta recently spatchcocked a turkey before smoking it in his egg-shaped ceramic smoker. He carefully cut out the backbone down the center with kitchen shears, brined it, rubbed it with a rub, then let it go low and slow. It was served with a giant Greek salad, sweet potato casserole with pecans and torched marshmallows, green bean casserole made with fresh green beans, not made with canned condensed soup, topped with homemade fried shallots, and my nephew Max's magic mashed potatoes, plus various pies for dessert. Up here in Maine, I ate mushroom and shrimp egg foo young with snow peas and a gingery oyster sauce and slightly sticky white rice at a Chinese restaurant. And then this is called Why I Leave Plumbing to the Plumbers. Last night, I almost accidentally allowed the pipes that run through the walls in my home like arteries to my heart to freeze. Tonight might be the night my heart decides to turn my blood into liquid nitrogen. This will not freeze everything inside my body, but will definitely freeze out my ability to connect to others. Every thought I think and every word I say will travel through Texas power lines that have been in desperate need of utility company upgrades for decades, unintentionally causing other people's pipes to freeze. Sometimes freezing so extreme they break like a lake beneath the feet of a small town hockey match. The frost can penetrate copper inside wires to the point of catching a flame, like a wary stare can burn through the psyche of a gentle soul. And tomorrow, I will wake, brush my teeth, wash my face, walk to the shower, turn the knob, feel the spray, adjust the temperature to a balance of hot and warm till steam rises from the tub and the water decides to not scald my skin or singe my soul. Thank you very much, everyone. Happy Hanukkah.
Thank you, Bryan. Happy Hanukkah. That was lovely. Every time you read about food, I have to cook something afterwards, after listening to you. Now, next on my list is Ada.
Oh, it's already me.
Hi, Ada.
Right, I did write a challenge or workshop poem. Yeah, so if I find that in my terrible notes. All right, so that's called Dali at Work. What a terrific sight these flowers are, except I'm allergic to them. Oh shit, they're not even real. Clang, good old keys always wake me in the right moment. I really need a piss. So that's the little work. And I don't know if, you know, because I'm called but not a fish, today I will reference that is that who said that poetry is like music, except less notes, fewer notes, and more words. So I'll do the reverse now. I'll use fewer words and more notes, and I'll do a little, you know, like, I call it crab day scat. It's like the jazz scat that you use on a crab day to feel better. You know, and if any one of you had a crab day today, it will hopefully, you know, liven your spirits. So I'll brighten myself up a bit for this one. So I need, because I want to, yeah. So this is it, and I'll try to get in my Jess voice. What a crab day, what a crab day, what a crab day, what a crap, crappily crab day, crappily crab day, crappily crap. Crappily crap die, crappily crap die, crappily crap, crappily crap die, crappily crap, crappily crap die. You tell me where to stop, because I can go on like this for us. Crappily crap, crappily crap die, crappily 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 die. Crappily 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 die, crappily crappily die, crappily 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 crap die. That's it. And I don't want to take too much of the time. I hope it was a bit of a stomach ache. Yeah, thanks.
Those glasses were amazing and that as well. The boa. Next I
My
have
favorite.
Therese Bertsch.
Hi.
Hi, Therese.
Hi, thank you. Oh, I thought that exercise was fabulous, really. This is a little thing I wrote, and then I have something I'd like to read for World AIDS Day today. It's kind of funny, I was trying, many people think the rosary is a dead prayer, and that's fine with me. I don't care. I don't. I think it's on fire, but the way I think about it is very different. So I was trying to write haikus for all the mysteries, and I read it at Bryan was there. I read it at one of our Zooms, and everyone loved it. And this one guy who's a very good writer said, it really was interesting, but they're not haikus. So I thought that was hilarious. It was like 5, 7, 5, but the ending is supposed to have a punchline. So I loved when Lauren was saying, explained that this is kind of what this is about. So I have one of the little mysteries that you'll recognize, and then I have some AIDS poems. So this is called Eruption in Consciousness, an Untimely Encounter. Awakened in this place, I began to teach for 3 days. I see my parents approach, disturbed and forlorn. How could I not follow them home? In response to their love and sorrow, as planned, I left with them in the caravan. What good is it to know that you are God? So that's the end of that one. This is, I've read before probably here, but it's from a young playwright who died from AIDS, and it's called In Memory of Johnny. I need a crown of gold, or something shiny on my head, a rose to cover premonitions of the dead, with fragrance bred within the sweltering earth and rain. I need to feel it on my head and face, an ocean spray or frost covering like a winter bear retreating. Where has the familiar gone? As sinister voices chant within my bones, there is no home among this now. That which I loved and bore within my heart to speak and laugh and sing about is moving through the ocean of my life. I sail in foreign lands. I need a crown of gold, and yet desire leads me still upon familiar seas. The birthing pains, as once it did, into horizons never known, and rose, where parents as the midwife stand, and rain and thirst my only guide. The frost has woven threads of gold, a basket for my heart it floats. Like hummingbird upon eternity, it carries all that I hold dear, and those who once loved me. In stilled communion, there we speak as language never could. The silence, pregnant with our love, not heard, but understood. And this is my last poem that I wrote, which I actually lost and found it on an email. It's called, I just wrote this a couple of weeks ago, and it's in response to how people who worked in the pandemic, which I did for 12 years as a pioneer in the 80s, how COVID kind of raised the kind of PTSD stuff in us with all the deaths. It didn't last, but it did affect us. So anyway, this is called We Can't Outwit the Cut of AIDS. Just behind my eyes or in the corner passing by, grief lurks. It didn't have to stay. Why not somehow another day? The chill of dread descends, though I say they are dead now over decades. Sorry, I just missed my little place here. Sorry about that. I bow my head in a gesture to recall that through the wall of time they are alive after all. I strive to recall their faces while they lived in this time, their spaces in our celestial place. Somehow I can't explain the memories that erupt and run a river through my mind now. They run a river through my head, a sorrow lurking in the marrow of my bones. What can expel this dread? It hides within this home in which I dwell. Lifting my eyes, then I see the heavens break in empathy. No, nothing is lost. And then, surrounding me they stand, they witness to that love that shepherds once mistook for dread. Yet instead it was simply awe that overtook them. Exposed in every way, our vulnerable saints who wash each day, like standing on a railroad track, the surge so strong and no way back. Now, through the potter's clay, they found a way to see and thrive and co-create their destiny. Their touch was fruit, their sounds alive in me. Who knew as life took hold we could become our very own person, making us one? You see, with an unyielding surrender of the ecstatic fantasy, the individual pretender gave way. Teilhard would say, it is in the ecstatic person that connects us in communion with humankind. Believing yet, I feel a chill as COVID prods my memory still. The pain erupts in every face recalled with all the news my muse urges me on to represent, at what expense they surrendered to the person. And penetrating that eternal door, they showed me how to become more, to become one. It is not done. Thank you. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you, Therese. I love the COVID stuff. I just love it.
Oh, thank you.
Catherine, are you?
I'm here. I'm not going anywhere, Margaret. Thank you so much, Lauren, for the workshop this evening. Absolutely fantastic. I found myself writing about my cat whose leg is broken, and she's in the vets tonight. And so I'm not going to read what I wrote about her, but all I can say is that I haven't got a denouement yet because I've been quoted 2,200 to fix her broken leg. So we'll have to see what tomorrow brings, you know. But I am going to read a poem that was brought over the line at a Molly Toomey workshop last Friday about wilding your poetry, bringing animals into your poetry. And I've been working on this poem for 2 years, and I read it at the Winter Warmer. And I love workshops, all sorts of workshops. And so big thanks to Molly and Colm and everybody else who's there, because they all helped me get this one over the line. So it's called Black Eagle. We gallop as one over yesterday's land, nostrils flaring, riding tailwinds, grass and dirt rising, but no blood today. Take me bareback into ancient ritual, unbridled mystic of the wild, thrashing in roaring dark seas, crossing fast, furious white water. Straddle Black Eagle, climb out of that ravenous place we once called Earth. I hear you whisper, speaking to my saddened soul. I see you, witch, gasping in all your purple glory. Tell me, what news of home? Sing to me of tomorrow. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Catherine. Great delivery as always. Next, I have Patrick Claus. Hi,
Hello,
Patrick.
everyone.
Thank you.
I stuck to the formula of 5 lines and tried to come as close as I could. Thank you, Lauren, for such a great workshop. It's titled Winter After You Sang. Across the crowded room, I see you clearly, illuminated. I rush past bodies and songs, clever words filling my mouth. Suddenly another emerges from the shadows to embrace you. I hesitate, and in so doing, I disappear. It will be 40 years before I meet you again. and I am without clever words now.
Thank you, Patrick. I'm amazed at what's coming out of the Flash fiction. And it truly is the word Flash, definitely so fast and everything with everyone. Matt Mooney is next. Matt, you're muted.
Margaret, there I am, yeah, and there you are, and it's great to be here. But
Great to have you.
yeah, I'm just finishing something, and then I will be talking. Right, okay. Now, you know, I dutifully got writing, and I wrote about 2 pages, but there's no way in the world like I'd reveal it to the nation, because it's a bit of a scribble, but it's a first draft, and I will shape it up. It's about a real story that happened lately to me, and there is one other person in the story, and there's so much about that person that you could write an awful lot about. But anyway, look, I'll leave it for the moment. The title of the story would be something like this: Friends Do Meet. And there would be a line in it as well: she fell on her feet. So it is, yeah, I won't reveal it, but it might come up some other time. Now, instead of that, I'll read you a poem with, that has a story. If any poem that I've written has a story, this one has. It's about a very exciting character that was in the American Army, and he was local. He was local, and his name was Tommy, funnily enough. And he was based in Germany. He was posted there by the American forces, and he jumped ship. He absconded, came home to his place in the west of Ireland, and luckily enough, I got a good look at him at that time, and because I have a good memory of him now, because the rest of it is really only photographs. So this is a poem that could have been called Tommy, but it's called L'Esprit de Vie, the spirit of life, the spirit of life, L'Esprit de Vie. The turf fire burned away over young years, Tommy, since after sunset you came over the stone wall stile between our haggards. Up in smoke, up our Santa Claus chimney, the never dying fire on a wide open hearth, raked with ashes every night going to bed. And it was late when your yarns were spun. You were a soldier of the States on the run, deserter of your post in Germany. At home, your Yankee drawl, enthralling us all agog, excited to have our neighborly adventure, bringing us the world beyond our daily lives. As intriguing to us as a parcel from America, opened with wide-eyed wonder on the floor in the west of Ireland in the 1950s. In a photo, you wore a sombrero on a stool with pencil mustache, drooping cigarette, playing your guitar. Your esprit de vie to me. That was Tommy. Now, there, yeah.
Thanks, Matt. I think the turf fires are going to be under attack.
They're under threat.
They are. Thanks for that. Now, next I have, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, Bijo Prince. Is that correct, Bijo? Or is it Bijo? You're muted. That's it.
Hello, my friends. My name is Isaac Cohen, and I am from Tel Aviv, Israel. My poem. My poem. This is a poem and something prose, but it's very sensitive. Isaac Cohen. Tenderness. Version 8. 3 child didn't add money to live. They decided to break out the safe in the municipal library. They came in the middle of the night. The safe was broken, but after they opened, it led the corridor of some books. No money. They read the book until they slept. The librarian found them in deep sleep. The police indicted to court. The judge sentenced them to 2 years in prison for juvenile offender. They become big offender. And now, Isaac Cohen, tenderness, version 3 child didn't add money to learn. They decided to break out the safe in the municipal library. They came in the middle of the night. The safe was broken, but after they opened, it led the corridor of some books. No money. They read the books until they slept. The librarian found them in deep sleep. The police indicted court. The judge asked them why they broken the safe. They told about this function family. The judge asked how book they read like it. John told a book about biology that he saw how to make biological pesticide. Bob told he liked the book about philosophy. There he saw a nice discussion about the concept of beauty. Robert told he liked the book about the space. He liked the mystery of the black holes. The judge ordered them to pay all their tuition expenses up to the doctorate as well as living expenses. After 10 years, there was a feast at the municipal library. The three doctors gave lectures in each field. The judge tell one sentence. Investing in education is better than investing in prison. The three doctors cried and each gives rise to the throne. Thank you, Isaac Cohen, Israel. And
Thank you.
Isaac.
It was very, very hard to understand you. I think you might have to adjust your sound maybe next time, but you're more than welcome, and thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Now the next person I have here, I have two more left, so if anyone else wants to put their name in the chat, I'll pick it up. Next one is Róisín, please.
Thanks,
Hi,
Margaret.
Róisín. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Lauren, for an inspiring workshop, and to hear your work read again. That was just delectable. Particularly, I just have the helm going around in my head still. That stayed with me. That was a beautiful piece, Lauren. And thanks to Mose as well, and Margaret for facilitating. So I have an old flash fiction piece. It's not so long, it's under 4 minutes. So I'll go with that, guys, tonight, if that's okay. So it's simply called Red. The promise of a blue sky descends on another day. Vixen settles her snout within folds of fur, watches the chests of her 4 redheads rise and fall. Her tail envelops every breath, a white-tipped cushion for newborn whiskers. Soon it will be feeding time. Her teats tell her so, engorged with life. In fields beyond, the bellow of cows soon to give birth. Their calves will be licked to life by maternal instinct, embodied by sandpaper tongues. Lambs' lilt bleats through freckled light. The sprint of spring's sunlight stretches cobwebbed leaves. Cubs clamor for comfort. Suckling sounds fill the hollowed oak, the purpled hue of bluebells drooping and bulbous bow gracefully to fox who stands waiting at the den. His dew-dropped snout lowers to leave a gift, a dead thrush for the nourisher. In the distance, beech tree begins to wail. It weeps as metal claws clamp its bark. Unearthed roots seeking lost soil soar to the sky. The earth groans, lamenting the loss, another of nature's kin obliterated. Blackbird balanced on barbed wire cranes its head to the fury of relentless machines. Its warning song sings, "Run, fox, run." Vixen startles, fox flinches, running now through gorse and brush, 2 cubs apiece in their mouths, whimpering, the roar of developers' machinery crushing their home. They reach the edge of noise, traffic roaring through tarmac on the motorway below. Vixen, panting, rests the cubs down. One calls, rolls down the verge. Vixen bounds below and catches him by the scruff, lays it on the grassy edge, still breathing. A hare's breath, tail trapped. Instinct turns her snout to bite. Crushed, blood mixed with red, her red coat. Teeth crack, bolts of pain. The next car churns her head, her pointed ears, asphalt, thick shiny coat flattened, white tipped tail torn. Cubs yelp by the roadside. Days pass. She is strewn across the motorway, her skin sticking to every tire. Every morning she is a new shape. Soon she will be nothing, but she will have traveled far within the grooves and treads made of rubber. Red becomes gravel. Elderflowers sway in the dust-strewn hedge. Blackbird sings sadness. Fox sits at the top of the hill, alone. Thank you.
Wow.
Thanks, Róisín. That is an amazing piece. Absolutely amazing. I love the way you read as well. Now next, I have Mo O'Connor. Mo, if you're ready.
Okay, can you hear me there?
Can, perfectly.
Okay, good. First of all, I apologize for being late and missing the workshop earlier on. I could have done with that. You'll soon find out. Anyway, I might write 2 short poems. They wouldn't take a minute if I read them in my normal.
Read them slowly, Mo.
If I read them slowly, they might take a minute and a half. Okay. The first one is called Peace in Palestine. And I meant to post this poem the other day because of the Palestinian Freedom Day, but I missed it on the face cloud, as I like to call it. So here it is. It's a poem. It's 10 years old now. I wrote back in 2011, but it was never published or anything. So here it is. Peace in Palestine. Peace be with you. We bow our heads and mouth these words. The Sunday morning echo of a country church resounding with a chorus. The latest headline jolts our conscience, and we pray for Palestine, Belfast or Beirut. We pray for peace, but never truth. God made man from Nazareth. We know him well. Bethlehem to Calvary, pilgrims trace his footsteps where he fell. The way of suffering, Via Dolorosa, is now along the West Bank. No tourists flock to see the way of grief. No one stealing land is called a thief. Peace on earth, we sing at Christmas. Joy to the world, the Lord is born. It's midnight mass, and we are happy. A bus bomb in Jerusalem never ruins our day. We have our own wise men. War is far away. That's it. And the second one I'll read, which I wrote recently, and this is a world premiere, and I didn't post this either. And when you'll hear it, you'll understand why. And it's called Gemma is Trying to Save Us. Gemma is trying to save us. They are out to get us, to take our country, to take our jobs, to take our faith in the one true God, the white man from Nazareth. Gemma is trying to save us. The New World Order, the global elite, the alien lizards. Her and David Icke will go on strike against the academics. Gemma is trying to save us from the Chinese flu, the hoax, the pandemic, the virus, RTE. RTE is the virus. Gemma is trying to save us. She's walking down our street with muscle men waving the hijack flag that flew above the GPO. Foreigners have to go. Ireland for the racist Irish. Gemma is trying to save us. Thank you.
Thanks, Mo. She actually did walk down the road here on the way to Micheál Martin's office, because it's around the corner from me.
That's what inspired the poem, believe it or not.
Yeah, I know. Now next I have Mona Lynch. Hi, Mona.
Hi. I apologize to my classmates who may have heard this poem already, but I'm working on it and taking on board their critique. It's called Reverberations, and I'm leading into it with a verse from R.J. Purcell. The chimes that from the giant tower or city streets reverberate exert a momentary power where trade and commerce operate, and lips grow faintly tremulous in fleeting tribute to salute the ringing of the Angelus. And anybody who has lived in an Irish village, this might ring a bell, if you pardon the pun. The bell rings out full of depth, a voice calls, drawing the parish together, a patchwork of fields, lake, woods, even a castle. My heart knows the taste of the earth there, the zing of the rain on my face. The fields, the roads bear my footprints. While sand seeps through time, I sometimes go back. I battle with the traffic today, where once only the local hackney reigned. Across from the church stands the factory gates, quiet now. Once its discordant hooter vied for attention with the bell. It called women in wraparound aprons, skilled at warping and weaving, oil-stained men in overalls, rags dangling from back pockets. They kept the machines singing. They gathered again on Sundays, answering the bell, in polished shoes and white collars. While I knelt and watched my freckle-faced brother in his starched surplice and soutane, swinging the thurible, participating in a world closed to us girls. We all took steps to freedom, but chains of memory shackle us. Thank you.
Thanks, Mona. Reminds me of Karl Marx. You have nothing to lose but your chains. That's that completes the list I got, but I cannot not read my 5 lines following the pyramid that Lauren gave us. I'm going to read my own 5 lines. And I actually never realized what flash fiction was about. I never thought about it. I thought it was like, you know, like in my head, I had a notion what it was like. It was totally different. Anyway, this is what I wrote. Jeremy looked at everyone standing around the graveside. He wondered if he appeared normal to them. He certainly didn't feel his usual self. There was a strange excitement bubbling inside him. After all, this was his mother's funeral, and he had murdered her. I don't know, did that satisfy the conditions, Lauren?
Fabulous. Margaret, I'm so impressed by everyone's. I'm amazed. I can't believe you wrote those in 15 minutes. Like, but yeah, I think that you might have found a new calling in flash fiction, maybe.
I love murder mysteries, so the plots come like flying into me. When you said 5 sentences and you went through the steps of the pyramid, I immediately got it straight away.
Murder, more murder.
Yeah, more murder. So actually, is there anyone here that didn't read and would like to? No. So Mosa, I'll throw it back to you for the announcement for next time and all that.
Okay. Thank you very, very much, of course, Lauren, for presenting her poetry and this fabulous exercise, and Margaret for facilitating the open mic. We thank the Cork Arts Office for sponsoring us, and maybe DeBarra's for birthing us at some stage. I don't really have, well, I have an idea for the next the next session, which will probably be somewhere in January, mid-January, but we have to have a meeting, I think, about it. I yet have to invite the person. It's only the 1st of December. Actually, I sometimes I think maybe we should have an actual Christmas session for everyone who doesn't like Christmas or doesn't have anywhere to go on Christmas. But I'm not sure if I'm if I'm really. Maybe I'll do that if I'm not celebrating Christmas in any other way. So I don't know. Think about it, because you know, it's nice to have Christmas, but it's also a bit of a burden on people who can't sort of stay with family or can't go anywhere. And then you really can't go anywhere. So you might as well go on Zoom. And in that spirit, I want to end with Stan's Christmas. Do they know it's not? Do they know it's Christmas? What is Stan's Christmas? The name of it. Wait a minute. Wear your Christmas jumper. Is that it, Margaret?
Yes, that's it. And it also stars our own Catherine. Catherine Ronan is the main star in this. So it's great to round tonight off with that. Absolutely fantastic. And Stan couldn't keep his eyes open because he's up since 5 a.m. so he had to go to bed.
Well, it looks like something that really took a lot of work, and of course, you know, there's the absolute.
He's also just old and wants to kick up in the ass.
Sorry?
But he's also just a little bit old and wants to kick up in the ass. He could have stayed here.
No, he couldn't. He couldn't keep his eyes open.
Okay, so we'll end with we started with the video, although that's not on the recording, but we'll end with Stan's video. And thank you very much, and have a great Christmas, New Year 2022. Okay, here it comes. Let me share my screen and then quickly go to Facebook. Okay. Can you all see this? Hear this?
No, nothing yet.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Is this visible?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Beautiful.
mother, no Santa Claus. She met him in the chimney while looking for flaws. It was Christmas Eve, she had to be sure Santa could make it safe to our living room floor. She saw him, he saw her. My mother panicked, ran for the door. Said if I saw what I saw, kiss Christmas goodbye. If I saw what I saw, kiss Christmas goodbye. Her mind went wild and imagined the strife if all of our presents failed to arrive. Just as she pictured an unholy war, my mother was haunted by an almighty roar and bouncing from the chimney holding a jumper. Santa screeched out, "Where's your jumper? Your Christmas jumper? Where's your jumper? Your Christmas jumper?" I'm checking on my list now. Ho. Checking on them twice now. Ho. Gotta find out now. Ho. If you've been naughty. Oh no. It says here you didn't send me a letter and now you're not wearing a Christmas sweater. That's not very nice. I'm sure you agree when I'm working so hard to get presents to me. Flying over rooftops. Go. That's so cold. Flying over rooftops, chimney to chimney. You can't just wear your jumper, your Christmas jumper. Where's your jumper? Your Christmas jumper. Rudolph the Leggett is wearing his sweater, and I can assure you it can't get any wetter. His red nose is frozen, won't even twitch a bit like that since we've asked to shake his wits, but still. He's flying over rooftops. Go. That's so cold. And Rudolph so. I'm gonna miss it. She is so angry. And he yells, I'm so angry. And I am so angry. Because I'm flying over rooftops, chimney to chimney. You can't just wear your jumper, your Christmas jumper. Where's your jumper, your Christmas jumper? Where's your jumper? It was then that Santa, that pure massive thing, said to my mother in a last breath type way, "I can't cancel Christmas, so please, pretty please, wear your jumper, your Christmas jumper."
Fabulous.